right? Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders that rule well, teach well, being great example to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to hopefully they got there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopefully the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Hashem Shah. And what I want to expound on was pretty much, a point that I had made earlier in the spirit. The spirit was just giving me some more points, to expound on, concerning that lesson, dealing with marriage, unbelievers and, emotions. Okay. And one thing about it, what we have to understand is in these situations that we find ourselves in, we have to be blameless, okay? And within the scriptures is wisdom that produces a conduct, okay? The scriptures is what? Good for instructions in righteousness. And within those instructions, we become blameless, in situations, man, okay? Because at the end of the day, this truth is supposed to produce the best version of us in righteousness, man. And with righteousness, there's balance. There's a thing called integrity, honor, okay? And that's why pretty much it's levels, to, this wisdom, man. And then just hanging around brothers, you seeing how, brothers are utilizing wisdom, and what it creates is a good name and a blameless conduct, okay? Because there's levels to this thing, man. Like, that's why when you see these guys like Sakari and, IUIC and, ISUPK with that low level nigga vibration they be in, it ain't about, a thing about knowing precepts and breakdowns and the history. See, there's a thing of conduct. There's a certain type of conduct that has you blameless, man. Okay? Jake got this spirit like, like this just a knowledge bowl. You just spew out, different information that you done gathered. But Jake not, leveling up in conduct, man. Man, I remember one time, we was in Birmingham, we was at a restaurant, and you had one of the waiters come through, and he was suggesting, brothers, okay, to eat some pork. And he had brought out some queso. I think it had some pork in it. And what the brother did, he ain't sent it back, but he he just told him bring some more, without queso. And what they did was that didn't push off their energy, pretty much that brothers, was trying to make his job unnecessarily hard. Now, there's certain things, you go out, you got to get it right. But what that showed me is, it's not about snapping out all the time, man. It's not about being contentious all the time when someone has a different belief. Now, of course, on our platforms, we contend for the faith. Brothers do videos every day out there on the highways and byways. Brothers already always defending the doctrine, defending Yahweh Shah, defending the gospel, but on day to day, we have to understand there's a switch, we have to turn off. And also, our conduct within itself, it speaks for us, man. Okay? Our conduct within itself, it speaks for us, man. And that's why even you have, like, the whole situation with, the women with the unbelieving husbands, because, like, I see why Apostle Paul wrote that in there as well, because a woman is likened to what? A servant unto a husband. And when you go into it, Apostle Paul also says, servants, obey your masters. Okay? And you had Israelites that was under other Israelites, Israelite foreigners, okay, that didn't believe. And what you had Jake, pretty much thinking, well, since I'm believing they not, I don't gotta listen to them. I don't gotta listen to my master. I don't have to obey what they say. They're not over me anymore. That was the mentality that Jake was had. Even when you read Philemon, okay, that letter Philemon, if y'all read that letter Philemon, it was about, a Jake that was under, he was under one of the heads of the church. And is that Philemon was a well-off Jake, and he was a believer, but he had a servant that was an unbeliever, and he stole from him and ran off. But that servant, I think named Ananias, if I'm saying it right, brothers can fact check it and put it on the comment board, if it's convenient for you. But the point is, his servant ran off, and stole from him. But eventually he ran into Paul, and Paul converted, that servant. And that's where you get that letter Philemon, because Paul was writing to Philemon like, look, Ananias, he converted. He let me know he was one of your servants. He done converted. He's been a big help to me, when I was in my situation. And he was like, he gonna come back to you, but you gotta forgive him. Like he's one of our brothers now. He's still a servant under you, but he's a brother now. So you gotta treat him in a different way, So one thing about this ministry, it's a different level, of integrity and conduct, because it really goes back to nobility being royal, man. A woman being in order to her man, that's a royal trait. You see? That's a royal trait. Just like a servant, like even though, like my supervisor, the man that's directly over me, man, he's Jake. And, pretty much I despise, being under him, man. Even though, when I'm not at work or when, I'm doing these spiritual things, I be elevated, in the spirit, not in pride, just elevated in the spirit. And then I have to humble down and come back to work and get up under this man. That shit used to irk me, man, but I had to do it. And there was certain conduct I had to have. I still had to stay in order. I couldn't get caught up in the tick for tack, because he was on petty shit sometimes, and I couldn't get caught up in it. There was still conduct that I had to do, man. I was a servant of Yahweh first and foremost. Within this realm, I was a servant under him. I had to be an order under him. I didn't walk around trying to get guys to go against him and speak bad on him every chance I got. I wasn't perfect, but a lot of times I didn't say a lot, man. I just made sure that, on my end, okay, I was blameless in the situation, So even, sisters, man, you just make sure whatever situation that you in, to be blameless, okay? If someone, starts despising you for you becoming the best you, and then you're becoming the best you, and it's benefiting them, they still despise you, well, ain't nothing you can do about that. What can you do? Okay? You brothers, you becoming the best you within this ministry, and also you're treating them with a level of you're handling them with pretty much, it's like a charity that they that this society doesn't exist within this society, like the type of charity that you have, man. Because like I said, I hated the situation I was in under my supervisor, but I sincerely wanted to be the best at my job so he would look good. And it's to the point now, these folks, we done picked the numbers up so much that they finna build like a brand new building, new equipment and everything, man. And he, me and him cool, like, he's still Jake, and I'm, I ain't no real sociable guy, except when I'm around, brothers, other believers. But yeah, man, like, it taught me a lot about how there's levels to conduct, man. You see, like I said earlier, man, like you see these other guys, and they try to make it seem like, yeah, we got it. You get this precept, get that precept, but Jake not developing no type of conduct, no type of balance, man. You know, that's gonna have us blameless, man. Cause even with Yahushua, they call hell, trying to build a case on Yahushua because of their conduct, man. You know, just like like a man, you know, and a woman that's a believer, like it'll be hard. It should be hard for those that, are spouses to build a case against us, lest they just say some lying, hateful, things, you know. But as a man, hey, you provide, you know, hey, you handle things around the house, keeping the grass cut, whatever your situation is, whatever you gotta do, keeping the cars on point, making sure the transportation good, like with me, like it ain't no like I'm just trying to toot my own whistle, but like with me, I'd rather like we got two cars at the house. I'd rather have the older car, let my wife get the new one, because I would want her to have a more reliable, means of transportation. Because if something happened to this older car, I'm more capable of getting it back, on the road, you know. But just little things like that, man, like, you know, um, just having a level of integrity, man, and like I say, nobility, man. You know, like this that nigga calling now. I'm gonna call him back after this. It's a balance. You see, I'm off work now. So nigga gotta wait. I call him back though. But going back into it, like being blameless, comes from conduct. Like I said, they call hell trying to blame Yahushua. Okay, even with you go back to Samuel, it's a scripture in Samuel. He told the people like, who have I defrauded? Who have I extorted? He was just going to different things. He was just coming out with it, like, what have I done, okay, to any of you people? And they said nothing. He was blameless. You see? So pretty much we just got to level up, on our conduct within this ministry and apply the wisdom of the scriptures, man. It ain't all about going to war with those that have different, mind frames. A lot of times, our conduct, can do more convincing, than, trying to bring a precept out, or trying to show them a documentary, okay? Our conduct, man. So that was the point, Lord will, you brothers, you few sister boy edified, until the next time, I say Shalom, going by Shalom, Bible Ball, DTA soon.